Hi everybody. Before I attempt to do some newbie tutorials on my YouTube channel, I thought I'd do a quick short flight with the Guimbal Cabri G2 from Nice on the south of France and following the coast around to the west, a little bit of sightseeing in Caen, however you're meant to pronounce it, and we'll try and land here. I've not done anything like this before, so any tips, advice, or criticism gratefully received. My PC runs, I'm very fortunate to run a 13900K Intel CPU, MSI Gaming X Trio 4090 GPU, and flying today with Thrustmaster's TCA Airbus joystick and throttle quadrant, because I don't have anything else plugged in. Whoops. So let's see if we can get this thing in the air. Live weather. Perfect. Oops. Departure from Nice, runway 22 left. The sim runs on an SSD and everything's set to ultra, with the one or two remaining options increased from high to ultra as well. And you'll see with NVIDIA's DLSS 3, the frame generation is an absolute game changer. And to be honest, it's the major selling point for me for the 40 series cards. You need a heck of a budget to stretch to a 4090, but I think waiting for a 4070 would be very, very sensible. Just really to gain that feature. I'm using a track IR setup. Well, my Heath Robinson version, which consists of a cap, some infrared LEDs, some wiring, a battery box, some duct tape, an old PlayStation 3 i camera with a filter over it, and the OpenTrack software, which is astonishingly good once you've got the curves correct. And having head tracking of any kind in a sim is a real game changer. As you can see, I'm pretty consistent, over 100 frames per second, which really is it just makes it such an immersive experience. It's unbelievable, really. Anyway, let's recenter my view. Let's see if we can get this thing in the air. I can never remember which pedal it needs. Is it right pedal? Yes, it's right pedal. Feels a bit breezy. A little bit more collective. Oh, Satec rudder pedals as well. Having rudder pedals makes a huge difference, especially when you're flying helicopters. A little bit high for a hover taxi. We'll move our way out to the main runway and then head on round the coast to the west. Just hide my frame, my MSI afterburner stuff. There we go. I'm not going to hold here. This really is an experiment. The first time I've used GeForce Experience to record anything, and the very first time I'll be posting it. So let's just go straight out onto the runway and add some more collective. More collective, nose down, wait for transitional lift. Away from the centre line. You get leg ache rather quickly, keeping your feet on the pedals. And I haven't found a trim option for this helicopter, which means you need constant pressure forwards on the stick. sorry, on the cyclic, which gets quite tiring quite quickly, as well as your legs on the pedals. Every time I load this sim, I'm blown away by just how good it looks. My monitor's 120Hz, LG OLED actually, and HDR is enabled, which hopefully you'll see in the video. Getting a few stutters, always do, and random screen tears as well, even at a very high frame rate. And with G-Sync variable refresh rate enabled, haven't quite found how to fix that yet, but I'm sure there's something I've done wrong. I'm just going to take the weather off because we'll check the wind first. 090 at 13 knots. Yes, so it is. We are into wind. It's a breezy day. If I switch off live weather, we're bound to see snow all of a sudden because it would default to the Weather Pro presets that I've purchased from the Microsoft Store. There you go. Irritating. We'll just go for scattered clouds, one of the default weather options. And that's a bit better. A bit calmer up here now. Looking hotels. Nice is a beautiful city. If you live in Europe and you haven't made it there yet, I can highly recommend it. You can't beat French cuisine and the European relaxed
Yankee Foxtrot Papa leaving my airspace frequency change approved.
Better respond to the ATC or I get told off.
East Tower Golf, Bravo Yankee Foxtrot, Papa frequency change.
Some issues with the scenery loading in, it would appear. I have a 900 megabit connection here at home. Yet that does not mean that Flight Simulator 2020 is a trouble-free experience. There are plenty of times when, there you are, it glitches. We've had a few crashes to desktop, other complaints, but on the whole it's been pretty good. And certainly the one piece of software that I've spent more time on than anything else over the past 2 years. Looks like there's a stadium coming up on the nose here. Trusty Xbox controller takes care of the external views. Marina there. Let's see if we can do a steep turn over it, because why not? noticed yesterday in the marketplace within the sim that FlightFX's Vision Jet is now available, so I purchased that, and I've probably spent an hour flying it, and I can wholeheartedly recommend it. It's a fantastic aeroplane. I'm hoping to do a video on that if I get more than 10 views on this one. Handsome church up on the hill. I think it's a church. Yep. I have no idea where we are. Let's check the map. LFMD is where we're headed. We can't be that far away. We'll cut the corner off over there. Hop over the hill. Oh, track IR glitch. Open track. I just spent a small amount of time flying the Bell 407 from Microsoft recently, but it feels so unfinished, and it's terribly difficult to fly compared to this Cabri. So I'll revisit that once there's an improvement mod. Well, in fact, I believe there is one, but I've not installed it yet. But I'll revisit that once it's been tweaked. I'm sure there's bound to be an update for it soon. Just not much fun at all at the moment. Loads of money in the south of France. So here we are cruising at about 300 feet and 90 knots, which is pretty quick for an internal combustion engine powered helicopter. Although I gather this Cabri is mostly made of plonkerzit or carbon composite, so I expect it's very, very light in real life. It seems to have a great power margin. We're only at 78% torque at the moment. Power, maybe it's power, and it's hustling along, no problem. To eke some more out of it. Nose down a little more. Power. Doesn't seem to want to go much faster. No, not really. Explore of the cruise liners once we get nearer. Interesting looking building here. Nicely modelled. Stutter. This is a clean install of Microsoft Flight Simulator. A recent PC PC upgrade. As I mentioned, 13,900K. On the motherboard is Asus Z790 Hero, which seems to be holding up pretty well. 32 gigabytes of DDR5, 6,200, and I haven't got as far as reinstalling all my community mods, with the exception of Navigraph. My good lady purchased me a subscription just recently for our anniversary, and I really have no idea what I'm doing, so I'm yet to explore the full functionality. I need to watch a few tutorials really. The charts are a little overwhelming to begin with, but for a VFR flight like this it's not necessary. Helipad. I gather you can't land on them just yet. Here's our airport. There's the windsock, so we're going to orbit overhead and land into wind, hopefully at the parking spot. Eurofighter on the apron there. Cub 172 on floats. Let's land behind the Eurofighter. Oops, lots of climb. Wasn't paying attention. Drop the collective back and start to introduce, take off some rudder. Okay, coming in a bit hot. See if we can do a quick stop. A bit messy, but we got there. Let's reduce our height and we'll cut across the grass and make a mess of it for everybody, no doubt. As far as simulator helicopters go, this thing is a delight. It's very easy to fly, as long as you're on top of it, like you have to be with all helicopters, with rudder and control inputs. Chop that cub in half with the tail rotor. I do find the last 2 feet the hardest part to fly. You'll see every time I'm all over the place. And we're down. Reduce the throttle. I don't believe that rotor brake works yet in this. Oh, it was a small update today. Maybe they've fixed it. Yes, they seem to have done. Kill the engine. Have a look outside. Drone camera, there we go. Bring the rotors to a stop. I'm sure this is not the correct way of doing any of this. Good job, I'm not a real pilot. Oh, that's the clutch, alternator, fuel pump, all the lights, strobes off, master off. Brilliant. Hope to see you guys again soon.